show you how to make a quick and easy soup. I call it Orzo Soup. It has pizza sauce, orzo, and fresh spinach in it. It is a soup that you are going to be able to make from start to finish in 30 minutes. This is what the orzo pasta looks like. It's rice shaped. And you do want to check the ingredient label. The one that I am using, San Giorgio, does not have any egg in it, so it is vegan. If you can't find the orzo, you could actually use pastini, and this is what pastini looks like. And again, if you can't find the orzo, acini, DPP, is also a pasta that you could use in this recipe. What I have found is if you're really in a hurry, take the time to gather your ingredients together. So I've got this fresh spinach, I have some pine nuts that I'm going to be toasting, I've got my orzo measured, my better than bouillon, I have for garnishing, and this would be optional, same as it is with the pine nuts, but these sweet pepper drops, and I've got pizza sauce. At the end of the video, I'm going to show you how I make an oil-free, butter-free garlic toast. That is awesome. And if you'll notice, I have my board labeled onion because when I'm working with onion and garlic and some very strong herbs, I use this side of my cutting board because the flavor lingers and can get on other things, like if you're cutting an apple or celery. So the other side of my board is labeled apple and celery. While you're gathering your ingredients, put a pot of water on, get it boiling. Do not add any salt because the better than bouillon will be providing the salt for us.
Our waters come to a full rolling boil. I'm going to take the lid off and put our orzo in. We are going to stir this occasionally and bring it back up to a boil with the lid off.
This is cooked 2 minutes less than the package instructions. I'm going to drain it and start the next step with the soup. I'm going to put my pot back on the stove. The pasta is draining. I'm adding some fresh water, and I want this to come up to a boil. As you can see, the water is boiling. I'm going to put my spinach in. Turn down the heat a little bit. I just want this to start wilting. It's wilted. It's going to continue to wilt. Right now, I'm adding my bouillon. Stir that around. That alone with the spinach smells wonderful. And I'm going to be adding my pizza sauce. This was home canned, and I used a Tatler reusable canning lid. In case some of you aren't aware of them, there are some reusable ones. You could use sauce that you bought at the grocery store. That's what you have and you like. You could use leftover spaghetti sauce, but I like the flavoring in a pizza sauce. I'm going to turn up the heat a little bit on that. It's time to stir in the drained pasta. So at this time, I'm going to put the lid on the pot and let it simmer on low for about 5 minutes. I want to make sure that the pasta separates and that the pasta heats up again. Now I'm going to show you how I make garlic toast. I have preheated a cast iron skillet, and I'm going to be toasting it in the cast iron skillet. However, you can toast it in a toaster if you would like. So I've got my whole grain bread. This is the 12 grain from Walmart, and this is their white Italian bread. It's going to take probably 5 minutes, and then when this browns on one side, I'm going to turn it over. Alright, I'm testing and taking a look, and it's starting to toast, so I'm turning it over, and I will be toasting that side. Now, to make it garlicky, I have 1 clove of garlic, and I'm rubbing that fresh garlic over the bread. And the toastiness, I'll try to do it with my left hand, hopefully you can see it better. By doing that, the garlic flavor gets infused on top of the bread. And if you want it real garlicky, you just rub it a couple times more. That side's starting to brown. This dark bread's browning a little quicker, so I'm going to turn it over again and swipe it with the garlic. I like that a little bit darker, so I'll turn it back over. That needs a little more time. I like it pretty garlicky, so I'll just rub it again. And this is the same skillet I toasted the pine nuts in. Okay, so rubbing that. rubbing that as well. I turn the heat off, and I want to show you something. Some people really are having a hard time giving up a little bit of vegan butter. So I have a stick of vegan butter here, and I'm just rubbing it gently over the top. I'm not doing it on all of it. I'll do one of the whole grain and one of the white breads. This gives such a little bit of vegan butter, but actually when I'm eating it, I eat it without any butter. I'd like to give you some options here though, depending on where you are in your journey to be a vegan. It's time to plate the soup. I am serving it with a fresh green salad, the garlic toast, and something I forgot to show you was I sprinkle the garlic toast with some Italian seasoning. It just, it's great. It adds a great flavor here. So if you have Italian seasoning, you could sprinkle it on your bread when it's finished. Because this was baby spinach, we didn't need to chop it up. It wilts pretty nicely, and it's still bite size. As you can see, it's steamy hot, and really this was done in probably 20 minutes. Let's make it look pretty if we're serving it for somebody else. So spread out your spinach, and then I top it with black pepper. I get my pine nuts, put them in the middle. It adds just a little extra texture. And then if you happen to have these sweet pepper drops, they are delicious too. If I was just serving that to myself, I wouldn't be moving it around so much. But if I'm having guests, I would like it to look beautiful for them to eat. Now I'm going to do a taste test for you. You can see it's a nice brothy soup, but as it sits, it's going to start absorbing all of the liquid. That orzo really absorbs liquid. I wish you were here to taste it. The pizza sauce with the vegan bouillon, it makes just such a yummy broth. Here I'll get a little bit of the pine nut and a sweet drop. It's just a delicious quick soup. I hope you'll try it and enjoy it. Thanks for stopping by today, and I think you will just love this soup.